You're watching today's video technical update presented by FXTimes. It is Friday, July 9th, 2010. I'm Fan Yang, your technical analyst, and I'll go over some developments in the Forex markets. As always on Fridays, let's take a look at the Japanese yen crosses. The Japanese currency fell across the board, especially to commodity currencies. Is this a correction to be followed by further yen strength, or has the corner been turned? Let's see how we can find clues to this question in the upcoming week. This video is being produced at about 4:45 p.m. Eastern Time after the close of this week's trading. Here I'm gonna just take a look at the daily time frames. First we have the Euro Yen, and you see we've been in this ranging action slightly. That has a slightly bearish bias to it. Your highs are getting lower, your lows are getting lower. So here we are again testing this channel resistance, although it could go up to 114 and still and there still would be a resistance. So at the moment we see that the price, this rally has decelerated Friday. There's some consolidation intraday wise, as we also test the 50 moving average in the daily. The RSI continues to show us this long, this bullish divergence, but at the same time it's showing us a negative reversal. So there's a lot of built up, basically this consolidation to me, it looks like it's gonna break out quite sharp, either upside or downside. Now if it's gonna break on the upside, we should see this RSI break above 60. Okay, so if maybe it may be a confluence of a break above 114 and above 60, and that would give me an indication that the market has bottomed. Otherwise, this consolidation can still be followed by further decline. Okay, so next week I would wait for another day, see if there's another day of a decline. You see here, if there's a red candle that comes down and closes below the low of this, preferably it would be a engulfing pattern as well, and even more preferably it would be able to basically match the strength of this previous candle. That would give us a reversal signal to at least come down to test this channel support down here. By that time possibly somewhere near 107. Okay, so that would be a signal. Otherwise this market is still in a rally and may continue to push towards 114, and if it does break 114, then there's a bullish outlook for this pair. For example, if we use the Fibonacci study, it could go up to this area right below 120, which is this previous support here, and also near 61.8% retracement. So the euro is very strong, and the yen has been weak. This has been pressured this week, so that's what we brought this pair up here. Now let's take a look at the pound yen. Now the pound has been strong in the previous weeks before last week, but this week it has been sort of just trying to maintain those gains. And you see against the yen, it's pretty much in a sideways action between 136 and 131. We're in the middle of that range, so really there's not much of a bias, except if you look at the longer time frame, we see that there is a bearish bias, and also we see that there's a two swing attempt here that's testing this 50 moving average in daily, and we have a possible reversal developing, although it's still premature. So if on Monday or on the Sunday open in the first session, if there's a bearish candle, that would give us more confidence that the market could come down. But still, the support right now is at 131. If 131 breaks, if the market could break below 131, then we may come down to 126. And then if that breaks, the 123 level is the next target. So pound yen weaker than the euro yen and more likely to decline starting next week. Now let's take a look. Moving on to, as I mentioned, commodity currencies have gained more so against the yen than the euro. So here we have a rally, 1, 2, 3, 4 day rally after the start of the week, we were at this 82 level, and I mentioned that the market is attempting to break below, but it failed to break below and is rallying. However, you see here the momentum has turned bearish. Okay, so this is within the context of a bearish mode, so you can project some resistance zones around here at 87. At 87 you see the two moving averages, and you also see that here is the 61.8% retracement. So next week, when the market opens again, look for maybe some further follow through to this rally, but there should be some resistance at 87. Okay, and also if the market does get to 87, you're likely to see a negative reversal, which means your RSI may be level or even higher, while your price level, the price high, is lower than this one here at 90. So if the market comes up to 87 and tops off, then we will likely we can make a projection as such, but we also have to respect the 82 support. Okay, so that's the Canadian dollar yen, very strong, but still within the context of a decline. Aussie yen, pretty much in a similar situation. So this was the projection after these two waves up, but now the market tested this previous bottom area, but just like the Canadian dollar yen, the previous low was respected, and we had a very strong rally this week, also testing the 50 moving average, just like the Canadian dollar yen. Now let's see where we are at the moment. We are at 61.8%, and also the RSI is almost giving us a negative reversal as well. So just like the Canadian dollar yen, if this pair tops off somewhere in this region, then we have a negative reversal, and we may have a projection as such. But again, just like Canadian dollar yen, the previous low here should be respected. So if there is any bearish outlook, be sure to monitor this area closely. And finally, moving on to the dollar yen pair. This week we found some bottom at 87. Last week I cautioned against picking this bottom, but the market has respected 87, and there is a rally. Now, so from this decline, the 90 area is 38.2% retracement and may provide some resistance. If not, maybe a little further up, but still below 91. Okay, now from this swing, the 90 area is about 50%, and the 91 area is about 61.8%. So this appears to be a cluster of resistance factors. So look for the market to top off there if this rally continues next week. All right. Also, I want to note that our RSI here did reach oversold, but you saw here it did reach overbought as well. So this is just indicative of a ranging action. So if the market breaks above this, it could come up to 94, 95 area. Okay, so that's the dollar yen, and that's all the yen crosses for today. So far, all these yen crosses are showing yen weakness, but we'll see next week if we could continue the yen strength. Okay, we have these resistance levels to hold that expectation. If these resistance levels break, then there's some further yen weakness to follow. Okay, like this area, pound yen, we're pretty much 136 is your resistance, and for your euro yen, 114 is your upper resistance. That wraps it up for this week. Check out FXTimes.com for more analysis updates and educational live events. Once again, I'm Fan Yang, your technical analyst here at FX Times, wishing you a great weekend.